Well, good evening. Welcome. Make sure that we are live here. Hey, everybody. Okay, thank you for coming on in. And I am so excited to talk to you tonight. I am with LaTasha Medlock Jones. You want to introduce yourself, LaTasha?
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me tonight. I am hoping everyone is doing well, and I am very, very honored to be here. I've been doing social work for over 25 years, and that was my primary way of serving the world. And so now I'm doing some coaching, and I'm looking forward to chatting with Miss Dominique tonight, who's an amazing leader that I really have a lot of respect for.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So, a little background about us. LaTasha and I met in a coaching program around 2018, 2019, last year. And we just gravitated towards each other as accountability partners, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we really found that accountability partners really helped you to stretch and go much farther than you would go by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing about it is tonight we're really just talking about how do you turn your pain into purpose. And we are going to share a little bit about our journey with the hopes that during this pandemic that you can glean some hope. You can get some bounce back when life gives you setbacks. You can dust yourself off and say, you know what, I'm going to get through this. There's going to be some declarations that need to be had up in that house over there. Okay, so we're going to come at you very laxed, down to earth folks, one side of the country to the next. Social media makes that possible. And so our collective goal is to help you on this journey of having the life that you deserve.
Yes, yes. So the first thing that I noticed about LaTasha was that she was a committed social worker. She believes in families. She believed in helping women develop their skills outside of the home, and so what really attracted me to her was the fact that we both work as public servants. I'm a teacher of 29, 30 years, like my entire I've spent my entire career teaching kids in school, and LaTasha has spent her career helping families through all sorts of um, whatever whatever she does, and so that's the main thing. We're both heart-centered people, and that's how we have really maintained this bond between us since last year. So what we were doing last year was going through coaching programs to take what we do with families and children into the space of helping women turn their skills into online businesses.
Mm-hmm. And that is so powerful because I believe that during the pandemic, I can say for me, it's been a very impactful way for us to sit down and to make some reflections. So I believe that when you go through life atrocities, whether it's small or big, it is a reason behind that and how you can help not only empower yourself, but you can also take that and help the next person. Even with my 25 years of doing social work and public service work inside of correctional facilities and in child welfare, the one thing that we had in our work is what they call peer support. And peer support was an individual who've been down the journey that the parents have been down. It's a different kind of learning moment when you have an individual who knows what it's like, the heartache of losing a child based on a poor decision that a parent makes, versus somebody that can relate to a limited degree. Okay, so it doesn't matter your educational background. If you are sitting at home and you feeling kind of blah, you feel like you don't have anything to offer the world. I want you to really challenge your thinking process, because your lived experience alone, that qualifies you. You kept going when it feel like it makes sense for you to give up.
Mm-hmm.
That's skill.
Mm-hmm.
When you over here, you got laid off and your budget went all the way down to zero, and you over here networking, getting food pantries, and networking with folks and getting a hot meal for your family, that's skill. And I think when things come so naturally for many people, you don't really look at it as a skill because it comes so natural for you. But you got to understand, we live in such an eclectic, diverse world that what's natural for you is foreign to the next person. Wouldn't you agree, Dominique?
I really would. And what we found was that most of the women who are giving from their heart and from, for years, and to their families, are not prepared financially for the after career life that's going to happen. The obvious, next, that's waiting for you once you finish that job. So it's one thing to give your life to your kids, your career, but what about your financial situation when you finish that career? And so we're finding that if women really think about their purpose and turn it into a business, they are not only more fulfilled, and you just find yourself evolving more, but you also have something to show your children that it's not just a job that characterizes you. It's actually what God has instilled in you that you're using to leverage and turn into a business that not only helps the people that you serve, but also your family, also your bank account. And it's a truly free life, freedom.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Dominique, because I think this would be a good opportune time for me just to share a tiny bit of why I, what they say, dodged the corporate and government systems and looked at ways that I can scale my skill that would last for many years to come, right? A lot of us have grandparents that went on to glory, that passed away. And this is very hard for a lot of you guys during the holiday season if you were blessed with that experience of a grandparent. If you can be honest and say, I wish I had the wise nuggets of my grandmother during some of these trying times, you couldn't put a price to your grandma. And so for me, I'm like, okay, well, this is about legacy building. What I know for sure, if I can package that up to be here to help the next generation in the community way after I crossed over to glory, that's what you call legacy building. That's what you call taking your gift and making it way bigger than what you thought it would be, because it's not about us. It's about what God gave you to as a world changer, to impact the kingdom work, right? To increase the kingdom work and make world impact. But you will have a long lasting impact if you package up your skills. I mean, there's a lot of people right now. We have a lot of blended couples, a lot of blended families. People don't necessarily know how to cook soul food, for example. And so now it is one thing, you can't call grandma no more. She passed away. What if she made a cookbook? Just what if? That cookbook would still be selling for years and years and years to come, creating residual income for your family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's solving the problem for the person that's on here stressed out going on Google Land trying to learn how to make a sweet potato pie.
And so what we found through our coaching experiences is that most people who were in those programs with us, they had a lot of talent. They had a lot of energy. But after they went to work every day, they went home and just collapsed, you know? And so what we started to do was we started to help women create digital products, okay? We started to help women create digital products that they could use as a springboard. So imagine an ebook that talks about your strength. Like, for example, if you set up vendor events, you know, obviously before this situation that we're in right now, you could have your ebook or your book. You could springboard your platform and let people know what it is that you do. So there were two issues. You know, how do I take what I do, what my talents are, and frame it into some type of platform like a book, an ebook, so that people can clearly know what I do. And then how do I monetize it? I'm sorry, my hair keeps getting in my face. I don't know why.
Oh, that's okay. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. And that M word is really something that us public servants and heart service people really had to develop and grow in. Wouldn't you think, Dominique? Because we give and then it's like, oh, do I charge?
Yeah, yeah. And let me tell you something. As a teacher of 30 years, I was just writing my heart out, you know. LaTasha, I was making ebooks and writing because I really wanted to know what my next was going to look like, you know, what my life after I leave the schoolhouse was going to look like. And I just, you know, prayed and wrote so much. And actually, I found that writing was your way to get the clarity before that transformation happened.
That's really good. I found writing for me, it helps me dump out all the thoughts in my head because I would get headaches and I would get like, which impact my tummy. And I would just start thinking, what is all of this? So for me, when I didn't have clarity, I had more intestinal what is it, stomach issues, because I'm like, I had too much creativity up here and I didn't know how to birth it out. And so when I started hoarding journals and kind of flushing it out, it didn't have to be spelled right, it didn't have to be anything, it just needed to be dumped from up here. And that was like kind of like my foundational path to see the power of writing.
Right.
So
things down. If you're listening to us right now and you have either had a nudge or, you know, a pinch, you felt that itch, you know, like
I got ants in my pants and I need to dance. Y'all know nothing about them oldies.
Yeah,
it itch.
You know, there's a new year coming. What's it gonna look like? What am I gonna do?
You better go down to that retirement. No, on all seriousness, don't let the itis of busyness. I'm just making up words. That's what I do. Okay, I'm the online bestie. I get to be that ratchet best friend. I can be that Harvard best friend. So right now we just having a little fun, but do not let busyness rob you of clarity and vision. Because see, like she said, 30 years into it, I was 25 years into it. Girl, I was deleting them emails about retirement, like, oh, I got time. I looked up, I'm 45. Then it's 46. And when I looked up and went down to the retirement office, I started crying because them numbers look like worse than the welfare department. I'm like, I have a master's degree. You mean to tell me I got to work until my whole head fall off before I can get some decent? Because where we both live, you know, the cost of living is crazy. I'm about ready to rent out some grass space at this point.
And not only that, but if your picture of your retirement is not just sitting in a rocking chair on a front porch, if it includes anything that has to do with travel, okay, or, you know, Birkin bags or shopping sprees, you better have more than that JOB retirement income 401k to back you up.
And, you know, to be honest, a lot of my colleagues down through the years, I don't know which plan it is. I can't remember offhand. But to be honest, a lot of people is digging into their retirements to buy a
Before.
house, to buy, before. So
Yep.
you're just spreading yourself thin and thin. And let me just preface this. I think you had mentioned, when you get down to retirement,
Mm-hmm.
because, you're waiting for something like the coffee cup, the pen, and maybe a check, and then the insurance premium is through the roof. Let me just tell y'all something. You can't take your health for granted. Because what led me to this space is I got sick. And that was epiphany that happened to me in the hospital when I said, there's no way. I've been given all my life,
Mm-hmm.
25 years, and I'm on here on an 800 number at the unemployment disability office in the hospital bed trying to figure out if they're going to send this little check out.
Okay.
Only because every time somebody created a hardship in their life, whether it's family, friends, people you care about, your kids, you have this sense of, I got to give and solve their problem. I know better now, but at the time, I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
thought I was going to be healthy all the way to retirement age.
Mm-hmm.
But life happened. And so I think that had to happen for me for a reason, because that's when I got myself up, started my business. I always tell people I don't have a plan B, because plan A has got to work. There's no other alternative for me. So
Yes.
I work it. I put in as much, if not more effort than I do with the primary funder. For people who say I'm tired, I don't have time. I don't have time to be broke. I don't have time to take these bills to the grave and the people that I love out here car washing and in debt. That ain't how we leave, folks. So
Mm.
thank you for saying that about the health, because we do, think we don't think about that because we're crisis driven people. When it crashes or when the tire blow, then I should have did the maintenance on it.
Right. So if you are in this space where you are getting that nudge, that pinch, that itch,
That
you know,
itch.
and you're kind of wondering, how do I stay busy, feel good, open up more streams of income? And I mean, not other people's businesses per se, because you could do that, but can I take what I know and turn it into something, for me, like, my expertise? That's what we're talking about. So I have a link up in the description where it's, I primarily work with teachers, but obviously your next after your career is, I'm talking, we're talking to everybody because we're all facing that same similar dilemma and shortfall. There is a serious shortfall when it comes to what we're going to live on.
Mm-hmm. And in this process, you guys, I have been telling people the biggest gift that you can give yourself during these holiday seasons is to take a whole break, a mental break, and
Mm-hmm.
ask yourself, what is it that I truly need to experience? What is it where do I really want to spend my time? We're living at a time where people can't even have bereavement leaves and be, grieving the loss of someone they love because the job is telling you 2 days, suck it up and come on back. If you want to continue down that road of struggling,
Mm-hmm.
struggling is not a lifestyle. We have got to go from struggle to thriving and surviving and living.
That's right.
And
That's
if you got to be the first in the family to come through this awareness, come through. You're going to be the first in many areas.
Yes. Now, we've heard from a couple of our viewers who have dropped emojis, said hello.
Oh, okay.
Now, if this is resonating with you, let us know because it might be you, it might be somebody that you know. But I know that when I was ready to leave the schoolhouse, I had friends I talked to every day, about like, how do I position myself? So if you are ready to position yourself, then click on that link that I placed up in the description, because positioning yourself is exactly what will propel you to making better decisions about, just taking steps, taking action. And we're still a work in progress. But
Yep.
if you position yourself and you have support, of a community, uh, then that is really going to help you to broaden, not erase what you've got going on. You can't do that, because it supports your family, it supports you, but you have to think about your next.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not thinking about your next, then it's going to be handed to you, and it will not be pretty much what you would have designed for yourself.
Yes. And I just want to really encourage you guys, if you're listening tonight, I don't want you to have these thoughts about you have to know it all. You're already doing most of the stuff you're doing. As you can see, Dominique and I have connected online. We have yet to meet each other in person. This is what we call a divine connection. If I needed, she helped me do my first ebook. She's a school teacher. She can write curriculum in her sleep. Okay, I write for fun. I get the ain'ts and the can'ts wrong. So what you do is you leverage the skill of someone else. This is why I tell you guys, in social media land, there's a lot of noise out there and there's a lot of divine connections. You pick the path you want to go to. If you accepting people friend requests just on the strength without doing your due diligence, ask yourself, what is that all about? Because
Yeah.
if they're not on the road in the destiny that you are itching for, that's why some of y'all can't sleep at night, because you know that there's more for you. We have got to heighten our conversations. Your conversation going into 2021 is a year of manifestation. You cannot manifest and go to another level with the junk of yesterday. So
Right.
as we were in a crowded space in a class, but our hearts connected. I wasn't this, oh, I got a master's degree, I don't know how to write an ebook. No, you just died to all that. Let all that ego go and be like, Dominique, can you help me write my first ebook? I got a lot of stuff up here. She gave me the outline. And there's something powerful about women holding each other accountable. Because if it was up to you sitting on that couch, laid up in that bed with the pajamas on, if you watching in your pajamas, girl, you would keep putting that stuff off. But when you have accountability or online bestie like I am, that's going to hold you accountable to get up when you don't feel like it, to get the life that you deserve so you can have more free time. Stop commuting all over the place, going to work when you're cramping, your back hurting, the kids acting a fool, but you still got to go for that little old check.
Yeah. So if you have any questions for us, how are we, that work in progress, sidestepping more toward our side hustles than our JOBs, message us, click on that link that I put in the description. It's a journal that will help you write through what it is that you're thinking, feeling. What is your vision? Because first you have to have vision. You have to have vision, and then you definitely need to link up. Linking up now more than ever, sooner rather than later, and we're not talking about shoving you from one type of life to another. No, but springboarding yourself into better positioning is something that you can always do. You can always start to position yourself so that you're always, just like you do with your children. I always put my kids in the best position to be successful. You need to do the same about your next. And it's not that you're not grateful for what you have. It's that you recognize that whatever the quality is that you have right now, you need to have that, and constantly, 5% more every year over year. You should be having better, more, abundance all the time. So if that's not happening and you need to position yourself, send us messages and click that link and look at that special that I have, and we're here for you.
Yes. And if you guys are in need of, if you watching and you have the clarity, the clarity journal that Dominique is offering, and you feel like you're going to write those things down and need support, just know the difference between you going on Amazon and ordering something and ordering the services that she and I offer is you get the hands-on support. You get somebody that can relate to you. You get somebody that can help you, because we are very down to earth. We are very, very much in a season in our life of world takeover, because having been through life experiences, there's nothing that will stop me from the destiny on my life. And that is going to jump off on you. It's contagious.
All right.
So get over to her website, get that link for clarity, get to talktotasha.com if you are in need of more support as it relates to your holistic self-care, your mental wellness, and to unplug from a lot of heavy stuff so you could be more clear and get clarity with Dominique. And that is our covenant agreement for you. We attract committed women because you know you deserve it, but we just take you and lock arms with you and hold you accountable to make sure you show up much more than you have been in this season.
All right. God bless all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Okay, be gentle with yourselves. Thank you, Dominique, for having me.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.